Hello. Okay, we're gonna do this podcast. What's up, YouTube? Mhm. Um, got my desk up. I've got my selfie light on. Today we have a really fun show. We always have fun shows, honestly. Just getting my notes up. Type in the comments, tag me. Like, how are you? Where are you listening from? Since we've been putting these on YouTube, a lot of you guys have been watching, which is really cool, and I've been getting a lot more emails from the people that are watching on YouTube. So I want to say thank you if that's you. But let's get into it because that's why you're here. We are talking hiring systems today. So let me count down in my head and let's go. Welcome to another episode of Bella in Your Business. My name is, we're going to actually stop that. I wanted to make sure I had the right microphone on. Okay. All right. For real now. Here we go. And a 1 and a 2. Okay. Welcome to another episode of Bella in Your Business. My name is Bella Vasta, and today we're going to talk about hiring because I know it's a super hot topic. We just had Joey Coleman come and blow the lid off of it in a special free training we did last Friday. I am not exaggerating when I tell you that people were like amazed. And like one person said, I can't believe we got a private lesson with Joey Coleman and literally got to brainstorm. One of the questions that came up was pretty unique, and Joey and the whole group started figuring out ways that we could surprise and delight our employees at a specific stage of the hiring process. And the ideas that came out were like, I've never heard of them ever before in the industry. Like, it is genius. And so what we also did is, because it was open to the entire industry, actually you can still get in on it. If you wanted to go and order never lose an employee and send that receipt to jump at jumpconsulting.net, we will get you that recording. It's a 1-hour recording, and it is wildly valuable if you're at the place of life where you are trying to hire, or you're trying to keep your hires and you really want to keep them happy. Joey made a really incredible point. I think he even said it on the podcast 2 episodes ago. He said, there's so many people that are like, hey, we'll give you X amount of dollars if you bring in a referral. But what we've neglected to understand is that we have not done a good job of making most of our employees advocates for their position or for the company. So how could we have someone who's not an advocate of our company go out there and bring people in, right? It was wildly like mind-blowing. It was so cool. It was so cool. But today, oh, wait a minute, I have one more announcement. There's so much stuff going on in Jump headquarters. We have decided to leverage the power of artificial intelligence, AI, and hiring, and bring you a group for 1 week. It's going to be June 19th to the 23rd. It is only going to be $47, but because you listen to this podcast, if you use AI 20, you can get $20 off. So then it's only $27. And that group is going to be really cool. It's going to basically show you what AI can do with your already existing or the hiring process you're trying to create. Because here's the thing, artificial intelligence isn't going anywhere. It's getting better and better and better and better. And what's going to happen is it's literally like the internet. Like, we are in an industrial revolution, or technology revolution rather. And when other people are starting to use this, it's mind-blowing. And so we're breaking down, what is it, where is it already in your life? Because I don't think a lot of people understand how much AI is actually already incorporated into your life. They think it's like this new thing, and it's really not. It's been around for 10 years. It's just been getting amazing, amazing, amazing. We've been using it at Jump since December of 2022, and it is integrated into my company. I literally have told people, if you don't understand or learn how to leverage this, and this isn't an ongoing conversation, there's not going to be a place for you in my company, because that's how powerful it can be if given the right hands and prompts. So when you take that and you couple it with your hiring process, now all of a sudden your challenges of like, how do I write a job post? How do I write an offer letter? How do I do, how do I do open-ended questions about X topic? AI can tremendously help you. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. So if you want to join that, go to jumpconsulting.net/hiring AI. And that's where you can sign up for like under $30 for the week. And of course, in true Bella fashion, we're going to be giving you lots of extra stuff. And of course, our wonderful partners at Jazz HR are helping to sponsor this. That's why we're able to keep the cost so low, as well as the Jump Mastermind and Pet Care Team training. But more on that in the group. Let's get into the show today. So I want to continue on with hiring, of course, because we can never talk too much about it. I think really long and hard about how can I give you guys value on these shows. And so I want to like kind of, sometimes we're zoomed in into like the woods. Now I want to like zoom us out, not to necessarily 30,000 feet, maybe 20,000 feet. And I want you to consider this because I think one of the problems a lot of us have is that we think that hiring is simply posting a job ad, asking a couple of questions, living on a prayer, and offering the job and hoping that they don't ghost us and that they show up. Am I right? I know I'm talking to some of you out there. And if that's the way your process is right now, I cannot stress enough how much things need to change. And so I'm going to give you 3 things to focus on, not the full 10. I'm going to give you 3 high level sections almost to focus on. And so, or rather 4, I guess. And we're going to really talk about this because this is something that you really have to hone in on. So the very first one is your ideal candidate, and having a pulse and breathing and showing up to an interview is not enough. Okay. I know, like, leave those for like McDonald's and Wendy's and Burger King and Taco Bell. All right. Leave those people for them. All right. You are not looking for that kind of person. You are looking for an empathetic person. You are looking for a nurturing person, someone who is good communicator, detail oriented, a pet lover, all like trainable, a follower. You're looking for all those kinds of things. And so what the best thing you can do is literally create characters. Like you are creating a screenplay for a movie. I want to know everything about these people. I want you to tell me who they are, what they like, what they fear, what they want. I want all of it. And when you do that, it's going to help you so much because when you start to write that hiring ad, you're going to be able to, it's kind of like writing a love letter to them. And when you're posting these hiring ads, so many of you that come to me, thankfully, you guys come to me. If you have Jazz HR and it's not working for you, it's you that's not working. And I don't mean that to sound mean, but you got to email me and you got to talk to me about it because Jazz HR has transformed so many of my clients' businesses, even my business. And you just have to know how to finesse it, to massage it. So your output is going to be determined upon your input. And that's the same exact way with artificial intelligence, by the way. So anyways, I really want you to know what your ideal client is. And then I want you to be posting a minimum of once a week, probably more like twice a week. And that's also going to help eliminate when it gets kicked back or something and they say, oh, well, this is the same job posting. You can't post the same job posting all the time. Yeah, well, you're not, because they're completely going to be different. All right. So I want you to think about that. And by the way, if you guys are just listening to the podcast for the first time right now, Jazz HR is an amazing tool that lets you post once and it syndicates to over 15 different places, not just Indeed. And then what you do if you use it right is that you're able to put knockout questions. So you only see the applications that actually have your qualifications. So it helps save you so much time. And then if you front load everything, which that's why you use Jazz HR. You can have all of your phases testing on all the most important things that you're looking for in your company. And with a click of a button, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, keep moving people through the cycle so that you can at least get someone hired in 3 to 5 days, because we don't got time to sit around. Can I get an amen? All right. The next one is develop an efficient recruitment strategy. So if you don't use Jazz HR, fine. You have to do a lot more manual work, but you still need a strategy, right? So do you have people in your community that can automatically be reposting your ad? I'm thinking that realtor that has like 20,000 followers in your area, all, people in your area, or PTOs, or any other big major connectors in your community. You're going to need to figure out how can you help leverage them to recruit for you. All right. The next thing is going to be when you design an application that's easy to navigate. So you also want to know the difference between like a questionnaire where you're trying to like interview them, and also an application and a questionnaire. What I tend to see is that the the barrier of entry is so large that it's overwhelming and you don't get enough people like applying. One of the cool things about Jazz HR is that it'll tell you how many people have seen the ad and then you see how many people applied. Therefore, you understand your conversion rate. That's major. All right. So when you're doing that, you want to make sure you have that. The third step is onboarding and training new hires. You want a well-structured onboarding process that doesn't overwhelm them. You want these people to come in and you want them to know what to expect. Joey talked about this 2 episodes ago, and it was wildly amazing. I mean, I learned a lot. It was incredible. And there were some really great suggestions in there because this really truly is an employee market. It's not an employer market. And most of you are still looking at this like down your nose, your proverbial nose, being like, how are you good enough for me? You better prove this to me. And when really, you're not the only cat in town. They've been like applying with a bunch of different people. Some of them might not even need the job. You have to really court them and you have to understand how to get them excited, how to make them feel really comfortable. And one of the things that Joey said that I really loved was, oh my gosh, I forget the person who sang it. It's Let's Give Them Something to Talk About, that song. And I'm not even going to try to sing it again because I already did a couple episodes ago and it was terrible. But but you want to give them something to talk about. When they go home that day, are they going to be like, oh yeah, I don't know, trading was like really overwhelming. I'm exhausted. I need to go to bed. Or are they going to be like, oh my gosh, trading was amazing. I cannot wait to like work with this company. They're so cool. They've thought of everything. I felt so like supported and so amazing. And then there's other ways too that you can surprise and delight them, which was just, like I said, you need to watch that training. Okay. So if you want that training, and I'm going to go back to that again, and I'm going to repeat all this at the end, you just need to email us, jump@jumpconsulting.net. That'll go straight to Jillian. She handles all the details because if it were left to my own devices, I would lose it, forget it, or mess it up somehow. But she will send you that recording if you email her the receipt of Never Lose an Employee by Joey Coleman. All right. So that's that next step. And then let's see. So we've got figure out who your ideal candidate is, figure out a good recruitment strategy, onboard and train your new hires. And then the last one is you want to retain and engage those employees. So besides, using pet care team training, which once a month will send you different training ideas to kind of pass along. You could literally cut, copy, paste into an email if you wanted to. They also give you 4 blueprints of employee meetings that you can have the first year. And quite honestly, you could use those blueprints year after year after year. So that's a really good basis of a foundation because most of you guys have really good intentions where you're like, hey, we're going to have some employee meetings, but you like announce them maybe a month ahead of time. What this looks like in a perfect world, according to me, is when you sit down for orientation with people and you start like telling them what's coming up, you already have those meetings on your calendar for the whole year. So if you were to come on to my team right now, June 5th is when I'm recording this. I would tell you that we're having a meeting in September and maybe November. It would already be on the calendar. So it's like, let's set this aside. It's called the big rock. We put the big rocks in first and let everything else fall in next to it. So that's one thing. The other thing about engaging your employees, you got to figure out a way to build team. It's very difficult because a lot of our team members are like running around separately. It's a very individualistic job, but people still need to feel like they're part of a community. That's what's going to help keep them and go. And it cannot just be you and them, you and them, you and them, because you need to be the visionary. You need to be working on the business. You need to be freed up. Okay. So think about recognizing them for their achievements and efforts. Think about gamifying the job a little bit. Definitely give performance evaluations and feedback. That is all going to help them. One thing I want to say, and this is so true, and again, this is part of that Joey Coleman talk, is that I noticed that the businesses I work with that have figured out a way to get their staff to adopt being on Instagram and doing all of the Instagram like story takeovers are the ones that have employees that are also bringing other people. They have reached that advocate phase of their employees. Just because you hire an employee, it doesn't mean that they're your slave and they work for you and they just do what you say and that's it. You got to build the culture. And I know culture is such like a subjective, like pie in the sky word, but all of this stuff really matters. Hiring is not just, did you show up and can you answer some of these questions? And I pray to God that you don't ghost me and you stay with me for a long time. There is so much more work to be done that I want to see our industry elevate and do. All right. And I'm not going to be one of those people that are just going to regurgitate the same old basic information to you. And if you're a jumper, you already know that about me. Because why? Jumpers jump, you guys. Jumpers jump. So those are the things that I want. Those are the 4 things I want you to kind of think about. Not kind of, I want you to think about. I want you to think critically. How can I improve this system? If you're still if your mind is everywhere, the first thing I want you to do is definitely join the Hiring AI group. That is, again, jumpconsulting.net/hiring AI. Use the code A20 AI 20. Let me double check that. Oh my gosh, I'm so terrible at that. AI 20 for $20 off. Okay. The second thing I want you to do is if you don't have a group of people around you that are asking really good questions that you aren't, if you don't have a group of people around you that aren't talking about things like we talked about last week, someone said, how do you deal with fear? And a whole bunch of people came in and they talked about how they dealt with fear. And then one of the members went out there and did the thing that she was fearful to do and got amazing results and came back and reported. Why don't you have a community like that around you? Who are you hanging out with? Because you are who you hang out with. If you're hanging out with a whole bunch of people who are telling you that you can't do something, okay, or that's not the way it's done, or they're not open to new ideas and doing it differently, jumpers do it differently. I want to literally invite you into the mastermind right now, jumpconsulting.net/mastermind. And the very last thing I'm going to leave you with is if you and I have not met yet today, why not? I want to meet you. I literally want to meet you for 20 minutes on the phone. Go to jumpconsulting.net/20 and let's get together. Get on my calendar. Tell me who you are. Tell me what your biggest challenge is, and I will point you in the right direction. I will give you the advice. Most of the time, it's funny because these calls kind of end I'm just blah, 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 and then they go, okay, Bella, how can I work with you? Sometimes the answer is you can't, because what you need to do, you need to get this foundation first before you can start jumping. Sometimes they are ready to jump and I tell them you could go this path, or this path. But the thing is that I can't make any recommendations and I can't guide you unless that happens. And fortunately for you, this business is not just starting for me. I say this with love and respect and so much gratitude. I love what I do. And we've got such a massive community that these calls, it doesn't change the roof over my head or the food in my mouth. Okay. And I say that lovingly. I am not there to sell you. I am there to help guide you. And possibly, if I think it's a good partnership together, partner with you. If I don't think it's a good partnership, I will tell you why, and I will tell you what we need to do in order to get there if that is the end goal. But truly, I am here because I love helping you guys. I could have the worst day ever and I could get on a call and it becomes the best day ever because it's it's my soul and it's my passion. So at that, I want to say thank you so much for either watching this on YouTube, which is probably very exciting because I'm jumping all around, or listening on your favorite podcast episode. Please like and subscribe. And if you dare, share it on Facebook with any kind of groups that you might be in or people that might enjoy this. Please, I need to challenge you. If you're having challenges, you need to get out of your head. You need to push your ego aside and you need to start doing things differently because what you're doing right now ain't working. And I'm going to leave you with my final words that I always say because it's true. When life gets you down, always keep jumping. Bye now. What's up, YouTube? Wow. I'm feeling really whew. First of all, I'm really excited. Second of all, I want to let you guys know, because you're sitting here on spending time with me on YouTube, that it actually, I don't like bringing up all these calls to action, but so many more people have been calling, signing up for a 20-minute call. And I've been able to be literally come alongside and help people. And, I hate pitching. I hate, go to this website, go to that website, because there's so much stuff that we have to offer, but I know that I need to talk about it. And so I just want to let you know that I have my own insecurities and these voices in my head, but I keep talking. One of the things that I learned when I was in dance like, oh my God, all the way up to like the end of middle school and like hip hop, lyrical, jazz. I tried ballet. That was my first one. And I was way too like, I wasn't structured enough for it. Go figure. Um, but now, even today, I dance all the time in my house. But that's not my point. That's a tangent. What I'm trying to say is that what dance taught me is that you keep going. So if you're one of those people out there that like, the fear I was talking about in the mastermind, she was really scared to put her face on camera and to go live on her Instagram or just to do a reel. And she did it and she got amazing results. And she was like, well, what if I mess up? What if I don't say the right thing? What if people judge me? And I'm like, oh, what if? Who cares? Right. And what if you mess up? I feel like that every single time with the podcast. But what I do is I keep my energy up because that is truly where I'm at. Like I'm excited about it and I keep going. I don't stop and be like, oh, wait, let's re-record that unless something terrible happened. In fact, in the episode you just heard on the other side of this window, my pool man came. And that wasn't that big of a deal, except he got out a drill and was opening up my filters and washing them off for my pool. Okay. It was really loud. I was like, oh my God, stay focused, because I didn't want to have to re record or splice it or anything like that. So, you guys, that's your extra little tidbit. Drop me a comment. Let me know if you're even listening to this because I have no idea. And I hope you guys have the most amazing week, whatever time of day or year that you're listening to this. I truly do want you to remember to always keep jumping. Have a wonderful day. Bye.